before, we have one of my favorite speakers of all time. Kaylee has personally changed my business from the way we were doing it, stepping into the social media generation. Kaylee is the advertising and branding director here at Summit Funding. She is an expert in paid advertising and branding, and her passion for connection is what drives her heart for coming to work every day. Guys, take lots of notes. I wish I could monetize what Kaylee has done for my business, but it's been incredible. Kaylee, we are very honored to have you, and the mastermind is all yours.
Thank you, Jonas. I am super excited to be here with you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So today we're going to talk about using social media to grow your business. And my goal for this class specifically is to help each of you, no matter kind of where you're at in your social media journey, to take that next step. We have proven here at Summit Funding that you can drive leads, create new relationships, and really grow your business with social media. I have so many loan officers and real estate agent partners that are doing that. And so we're going to talk about that today. So we're going to kind of talk about phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So this is how I see the kind of steps you need to take to really start utilizing social media. So we're going to talk about phase 1 because I know that a lot of people just aren't even using social media. They're not posting. So whether you're in phase 1 right now, you haven't even gotten to phase 1, you're in phase 2 or phase 3, we're going to show you some great ways to take your next step in social media today. So first, phase 1. I talk to so many loan officers and real estate agents all the time who are not even posting on social media, or they're not consistent. And so phase 1 is making the decision that, hey, I'm going to allocate some resources to this, AE, probably an hour or 2 of my time per week to do phase 1, which is 1 business post and 1 personal post. That is phase 1. That's all we're doing is every single week, we're doing 1 business post and 1 personal post. So let's get into what that looks like. First, we need to kind of have some basic terms. So we're going to be talking today about Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok because that is where our target demographic is generally hanging out. If you do any type of recruiting, whether that's for your brokerage or for your team or for your branch, whatever, I would also recommend adding in LinkedIn. If you're not doing recruiting, I would really focus on the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok because that is where the clients are going to be hanging out. So some basic terms: feed, story, bio, highlight, reel, live. Let's go over each of these. So your feed, this is going to apply to all 3, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where there is a feed. It's like the main area that there's posting, video, photos happening, that main scrolling area. That's the feed. The stories are those little bubbles at the top. This applies to Facebook and Instagram predominantly. TikTok is working in stories, but the way that they do stories is different than Facebook and Instagram. But that is what a story is that top thing. It can get a little confusing because I might say to you, hey, I want you to share your story on social media. That could mean I'm trying to get you to share your narrative or share an actual story, right? So I will make that differentiation. Your bio, this is something that goes on all 3 platforms and is usually under your username or on your profile. Highlights. This is really mostly geared towards Instagram. Facebook has been trying to do some highlights. I wouldn't worry about them there. This is really Instagram. We'll talk more about highlights a little bit later. Reels are the videos that are on Instagram and Facebook. And I would also just call those TikToks. So Reel and TikTok is really kind of the same thing almost. And then live, you can go live on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. And that is just when you press the go live button and you are live to everyone that follows you on that platform. Okay, so then what kind of accounts do you want to have on these platforms? We're still here talking about the basics a little bit. This is phase 1. On Facebook and TikTok, there's not really a bunch of different options for what kind of profiles you can have. On Facebook, you want to have your personal page, like Facebook profile page, and then you want to have a business page. We'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit. And on TikTok, you just want to have a TikTok account, right? It's kind of all the same until you hit a certain amount of followers on there. But on Instagram, there are 4 different types of profiles, and the profile type I want you to have is creator. So you'll see that I have that bolded here. You can have personal, personal private, business, or creator. I recommend having a creator account. It gives you all of the business analytics while also still enabling you to tie it to your personal Facebook. And so that's why I like that one. Okay, social media strategy. So this is really the key to having social media that works and that actually drives leads for you, is to have a strategy behind your social. So the goal always in our social media strategy should be to give. So we want to show up and contribute something positive to other people's lives. So whether that is helping people get to know you better and fostering connection, or it's just like entertainment, education, inspiration, we're showing up with the goal to give. Obviously, this is your personal social media profile, so we'll kind of be talking about ourselves in a way, but we want to gear our mindset thinking towards how does this like connect with my ideal client? How does this help them see more of me or entertain them or provide value? We want to think about our audience more than ourselves, even though we're kind of talking about ourselves, right? The personal profile strategy. So I recommend, this is kind of talking about that Facebook business versus your personal profile situation. And this also would go into Instagram, because in the past, a lot of people have been told, oh, you should have a personal Instagram and then a business Instagram. No, I want you to have one Instagram creator account. And for Facebook, I want you to really predominantly focus your energy on your personal profile. And then we just kind of keep our business page up to date as like a resume for our clients. When they go to our page, they see we're professional, we're, relevant, we are maintaining some posting there, but we're not really putting a lot of energy into that. A long time ago, back in 2018, Facebook really shifted their algorithm to push business pages really far down. So they prioritize the personal profile and the personal connection. So you're never going to get a ton of really great views typically on a Facebook business page, which is why I want you to put your effort and energy into your personal profiles. So that is kind of my strategy on that. A couple profile tips. So your bio, we discussed that this is on all 3 platforms. You want to let them know what's in it for them if they follow you. Are you going to help them grow wealth through real estate? Are you going to give them great tips on investing? Like, what are they going to get from you when they follow you back? Like for Robin Lavasser, one of the things that I've done with her for a long time is talk about how she helps women create balance with successful career and home life, right? That's like a value drip that she's giving to people, is strategies on how to do that. What are people going to get from you if they follow you? You need to get clear on that, and that needs to be in your bio. Username and name. This really is like more a TikTok and Instagram thing. These are the 2 main searchable areas on Instagram and TikTok. And so you want to either have home loans or real estate agent in your name on those platforms so that when people are searching for that, you pop up. Do not put industry hashtags in your bio. The only time you would put a hashtag in your bio is if that hashtag is a specific hashtag that you use for business. Now, the Instagram owner has come out and said that hashtags do not really matter anymore. So I would not focus really any energy at this time on hashtags because they just don't matter at this time. But the reason I don't want you to put industry hashtags in your bio, like realtor or loan officer or hashtag home loans, is because your client could click on that and that's going to take them somewhere else on the platform versus staying on your page. And we don't want that, right? Jargon free. We always want to be jargon free on our profile, whether that's posting or in our bio or wherever. You want to have your language be that someone who knows absolutely nothing about the real estate process, whether that's loans or real estate agent side, they need to be able to understand what we're saying, right? So if we're saying, oh, it's this LTV and oh, you have this in escrow, like nobody knows. We know, but they don't know. And we have to communicate in a way that they understand, right? Your profile picture needs to be your face. Okay, I see a lot of people that have their cat or their car or whatever. We need the face. That way, when we're like when people, and I prefer a more up close version of your face than a far back, because we're growing that ethos with people when we're talking to them, when they're direct messaging us, when they see us pop up on their platforms. We want to grow that ethos of our face versus anything else, right? Not your logo, not your house, like your face, and preferably an upper close photo of you. Instagram highlights. So these are the little bubbles on your profile. What I like to do is have those be like web pages. So maybe you have one that says, here's what our clients are saying, and you save all of your stories that you do of client testimonials into that bubble. Maybe you have one on, the do's and don'ts when you're in the loan process, and you have saved some stories into that highlight that explain that for people. Whatever you feel like people might be coming to you for guidance around, it would be a good idea to have a highlight on that. You don't want to have too many highlights. I would say ideally you don't want to have more than 10. And even if you just have 3 to 5, that's kind of a good spot to be in. But I would try not to have more than 10. Some people can get away with 15, but that's kind of what I recommend on that. Okay, target marketing. This is one of the keys to a social media strategy actually working, is having very clear mindset and idea around who you're targeting, right? So this could be the difference between you actually driving leads on social media and you not, and wasting your time. So if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to nobody. So you need to pick, who am I talking to, and communicate to that person. So you don't have to be married to this. This doesn't have to be, your entire life for the next 10 years is this one target market. But I would recommend that you commit to a target market for at least 90 days, if not 6 months, and really hone in on that. And then you could take account on, did this work? Let me make some shifts. I would do that after 90 days. So how do you decide what to target market? They are in pain. So let's say that you're going to decide, I'm going to target first-time home buyers. You're going to talk about the pain of renting, the pain of trying to save money when they could just be gaining equity. Maybe their pain is actually that they're a move-up buyer and they don't have enough bedrooms for their kids. That's what you're going to focus on. Like, you want to be able to call out their pain and see their pain, because that is what drives people to make decisions. We make decisions based on emotions generally, not facts. So we want to know what the pain of our ideal person is and then start calling that out. Do they have the purchasing power? This is, I have had many people do, let's say they do a campaign on credit repair. Well, a lot of people that need credit repair maybe don't have the purchasing power to actually do anything right now. So that isn't a target market that I would necessarily recommend you go after, because they probably don't have the purchasing power. So we want to pick a target market that actually has the purchasing power to do what we're calling them to do in our call to action. Easy to target. Can I find how to target them? Can I, target them in a Facebook ad? Is there a way for me to target them, get a list from my local title company? Like, is there a way for me to target them? That's a question you want to ask when you're picking your target market. And then, is that growing? So right now, let's maybe call out a couple of the growing markets. First-time home buyers, because millennials are hitting that, general age of buying a house, and they're the largest generation since the baby boomers. So that is a, sect that is growing. DSCR loans, like that is a sect that is growing. Like, there's certain things that are growing. I-10 foreign national loans. Like, there's certain things that are growing that you can kind of see, and that helps you decide what is the target market that I'm going to go after. So my recommendation and suggestion to you in this is just to ask yourself questions around these 4 pillars: the pain, the purchasing power, can I target them, and is it growing? And to actually pick who you're specifically going after, and then do that for 90 days to 6 months. Okay, so phase 1, we're doing a business post and a personal post, 1 each week. What are we doing those on? So the business post, I would recommend videos that are either educating or entertaining your ideal client. So we've picked our target market. And now we're going to create content to attract that target market, right? You also, for your business post, could do testimonials or inspirational content. Maybe you want to be a thought leader, or you want to be a wealth expert, or whatever you kind of want to be. That would be your one business post that would be inspirational. Maybe you're reading something and you can pull a great quote from that, and that could be your post for the week for your business post. For your personal posts, some ideas for that would be family, events, friends, trips, hobbies, and interests. Something that's going on in your personal life that you can do one post about. That could be photos, it could be a video, it could be whatever, but just one personal post per week. This is going to help our audience get to know us better. And people, we like to work with people that we like, know, and trust. And so that personal side gives that like, know, and trust. A lot of people will tell me, well, if I'm trying to grow my business, why would I be posting about personal stuff? The personal stuff is going to help your business content do much better by having the balance of the two. Okay, do reels and videos. So video is so important. I would say it's the most important thing in marketing in our entire sphere in our world today. Reels are still being pushed out to more people than follow you. So let's say that you post a photo of your dog. Generally, that photo is not going to get pushed out to very many people that don't already follow you. Let's say you post a video of your dog. That video is going to get pushed out to a lot of people who don't already follow you. So it gives us more of a chance to get in front of new people. Now, I recommend that you cater your reels towards your ideal client. So the content that's going out to attract new people is catered towards our ideal client. And then some of our other posts, like the family posts, that are probably not going to get pushed out a ton because they're photos. Maybe they would if they're a video. But what I'm saying is you really want to get those videos that are going out to a bunch of people that you don't know to be really catered towards that ideal client. And TikTok is a completely video dominated platform. So that's the other reason we want to be making videos. Okay, I am about to convince you why you need to make videos, because a lot of people that I talk to, whether they're loan officers or real estate agents, they really struggle with the wanting to make the video piece. A lot of us, we don't like how we look on camera. We don't like how we sound on camera. We get very much like, oh, I just don't want to put this out there. And I'm about to convince you that you should be doing this for the sake of your business. What I will also say to you in the most love is that people, there are so many people out there that do not have the financial literacy that we all have. And in order to make a change in that area, we have to put stuff out there that helps educate them, right? Helps inspire them, helps entertain them, helps them get those nuggets that are actually going to help them be more financially literate and make better decisions for their family. And to be able to help them do that, we have to get out of our own way and get out of our own kind of, almost vanity, if you will, of not wanting to make these videos, and say, hey, this is actually about them. It's not about me. And I'm trying to help them. And so I'm going to kind of set aside my vanity and my own, insecurities or whatever to make these videos and help more people. And it's going to make your business grow. So let's talk about that. So 85% of internet users in the United States watch online video content on a very consistent, almost daily basis. 85%. Companies who use video in their marketing grow revenue 49% faster year over year than those who don't use video. Would you like to grow your business 49% faster? I think you would. Businesses using video receive 41% more website traffic than non-video users. Do you want to get more people filling out your online application form or going to your website to get to know you and get to understand why they should use you as a real estate agent over other people? I think you do. Increase your conversion. So leads are 64% more likely to purchase from your business after seeing a video. And 88% say that they were convinced to buy a product or service by watching a brand's video. I do this all the time. I'm on Instagram or I'm on TikTok and a cute tennis dress comes up and I'm like, ooh, gotta buy it. but I saw the video of somebody wearing the tennis dress. I wouldn't have bought it if it was just a picture of the tennis dress on a, cute background. You get what I'm saying? It brings that humanizing fact, and that helps more people actually convert and do what you're asking them to do in your call to action. Okay, if I haven't convinced you already, 92% of mobile video consumers share videos with others. So this is how we get ourselves, we leverage our social media to get shared to more people. We have many loan officers. I will call out one of Oceana's recent videos that she did, got shared by a ton of people, and so therefore got millions of views. Like, quite great. Because people are more apt to share videos than they are to share anything else. And so this is going to help you grow your business and grow your lead count on social media. Okay, how do you make great video? So my recommendation is to start with your phone. You don't need any fancy equipment. As long as you have like a decent phone, you can start there. Get a tripod. There are super cheap, like $20 tripods on Amazon. There's $50 tripods on Amazon. Just get a tripod that will hold your phone, and you'll go from there. Make sure you have good lighting. I prefer to do videos near a window to have that nice natural lighting. If you do not have that option, I would get a ring light. You can get a really good ring light for like $100. I would invest in that. And if you don't have the ability to go near a window, provide value. We already kind of talked about that. And use an editing service. We were at our one-day event in Dallas recently, and I thought Todd made a great point when he was talking about all of the skills and jobs that loan officers and real estate agents do. If you were to list that out on a piece of paper, it would not be the most fun job to have. And I don't think that you guys need to learn also video editing on top of everything else you do. So that's why I recommend using an editing service. Which editing service do I recommend you use? This one. So I really like Story. They do fantastic work. They already work with a ton of our loan officers here at Summit Funding, and we actually have a discount code. So you can use the code all caps Summit Funding to get 10% off of Story. And if you're in phase 1, you really only need these 5 videos per month edited. So with the 10% off, that's going to run you like $250 a month to get your videos edited for you so that you don't have to learn video editing or pay someone to do it, which let me just say that to pay someone to do it would be a lot more expensive than that. And then if you are in phase 2 and you're doing a lot of videos, I would recommend probably doing their unlimited plan, which is 25 plus videos a month. Because they have a 24-hour turnaround time, and that's going to be around $800 a month with the 10% off. So I recommend you guys outsource this. It's just so much easier and faster. And I find that a lot of real estate agents and loan officers, they start recording the videos and then the editing blocks them to getting them to post. If you can just get rid of that by outsourcing it and then being able to just post what they give you, you're good to go. Okay, now phase 2. So really quick, I just want to call out, if you are in phase 1, I want you to really focus on phase 1. Now you can, take notes and get nuggets from phase 2 and 3, but really focus on phase 1, getting that down, getting really comfortable with that. And then we move on to phase 2. So once we're posting consistently, we want to take our social media strategy to the next level. Phase 2 is posting 3 to 5 business posts per week and 1 to 2 personal posts per week. The other thing you want to do in phase 2 is really turn your organic social into a funnel. And we do that by making sure that your links are set up. So we'll talk about all of that really quick. How much to post? This is one of the most common questions that I get. Like I said, if you're in phase 1, you're doing that 1 business, 1 personal. Once you get past that, the ideal situation would be to post every day. So 5 to 7 times a week is a really great goal for reels, carousels, graphics, photos, a lot of video, is what the ideal world is. And then you would want to do stories every day. So 3 to 10 stories per 24 hours is the ideal number there. The other thing I want to call out in this is that our goal is to get a local following for most of us. So unless you are licensed in all states or licensed in a lot of states, which most of us are not, our goal is going to be to get a local following in the state that you are licensed in, because that's where we're actually going to get people that can convert to us is through that. So follower numbers are not that important. Let me just say that again. Follower numbers are not that important. Our goal is to drive leads and make money, right? A lot of people get stuck in that follower. Oh, I only have 500 followers. Oh, I only have 1,000 followers. You could still get that to convert to 2 loans a month for you. Or, you know, maybe 6 to 10 transactions a year as a real estate agent with those leveraging those 500 to 1,000 people. So that's not what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the right people, not just getting an exorbitant amount of people. It's great to get an exorbitant amount of people, but then you kind of have to sift through all of them. So anyway, just want to put that out there into the mindset. So you want to think of ways to connect locally. Now, Instagram has come out with a fantastic feature called collaboration, where you can collaborate with another person's account so that this content that you make shows up on your account and their account. And you can do it with more than even just 2 people. You can do it with multiples. So let's say that you are trying to grow a local following and you find 3 local businesses in your area that you're aligned with, and you start collaborating with them so that your stuff gets seen on their profile and your profile. That is one way to get in front of other people's audiences to grow that local following. But just be thinking about that. How can I connect with people locally to grow my following locally so that I'm, you know, with these people that can actually take action with me? Okay, reels and stories. I talked about this a little bit ago, but I want to just like be super clear on it. So reels and video, whether this is on Instagram or TikTok, that is what goes out there to attract new and more people to us. So we want to cater all of our content that is reels and video, ideally to our ideal client. That way we're attracting new people that are our ideal client. Then we want to do stories that are more like behind the scenes, getting to know you. If you're reading a good book, if you listen to a good podcast, like the stuff that's really more connection to deeper the relationship with people that are already following you. So the reels and videos go out and get us new people. The stories and like more like photo posts and things like that help us deepen that relationship with the people that already follow us. So you want to be kind of thinking about that. Okay, you want to make sure that your links are set up. So there's a couple different ways to go about this. I personally, I have been doing social media for 10 years now, and I personally think that having the correct links in your bio is going to be like the most important thing. There are, you know, you could get, there's like platforms where you can say, you know, comment link and I'll send you the DM. That is kind of an advanced step. And I love doing that, but people are starting to not want to, like, they don't want other people to see that they're asking for the link. So a lot of people are reverting back to the link in bio. So I think you want to have your link in bio set up. If you want to go deeper than that, you feel free to email me. But this is the baseline. You need to make sure you have your link in bio set up. So I like the platform either Later or Linktree is fine for your link in bio. And it just lives here. Can you guys see my little arrow? It lives here on your account. So you can put this on Instagram. You can put this in, you can put your link on Facebook now usually. But you want this to pop up and have all the buttons that you need for people to take your call to action. So this is our Summit Funding one. I am also showing one of our very successful social media lead driving loan officers, Caitlin Ward. This is hers. It's very simple and it works. She drives realtor planning sessions and buyer consultations, and then she has her application right here. And she drives those by calling that out in her content. Hey, go to my link in bio and click this button. And that is one of the ways that she uses her organic social as a funnel. Let me show you that. So our goal always in marketing is to have a funnel. So what is the top? It's awareness. So these are our videos, our posts, our stories. We have a call to action on those that tells them what they can do if they're interested, right? So we have awareness, then, oh, I'm actually interested in that. This is great because you've been doing the right target marketing. So people are resonating with the content you're creating and saying, oh, that sounds like me. I'm interested in that. So we have a call to action that says click link in bio for a free 15-minute appointment, or click link in bio to join this free class, or click link in bio for this free PDF. And then you get their email address. There's lots of ways you can do that, right? And then they make a decision. They go to the link in bio, they book the appointment, or they fill out your online application or whatever your call to action is. And then they actually take the action. So they meet with you, they attend the event, they do the loan application. So that's how you take your organic social and you turn it into a funnel that's actually driving leads. This is one of the missing pieces in people's social media strategy when they're just like posting and ghosting, or they just think they're going to, show up with no strategy and start doing some posts and actually going to drive leads. No, you need to have this funnel in place to be able to actually drive leads, which means you're creating video content that has a call to action, that then they could take that call to action because you have your link set up, and then you can actually meet with them and they become a lead for you, right? So that is how you do that. Okay, last phase is doing some Facebook ads. So once we're using organic social media to its full potential, meaning you have done phase 2, you are posting almost every single day on social media, you're showing up in stories almost every single day. Obviously, we all have like moments. I personally like to Sabbath once a week. So I'm not on my phone that day. I'm not going to be posting or doing videos that like stories that day personally. You can still have success showing up 5 to 6 times a week consistently, right? But we're fully utilizing the free options that we have, right? Because social media is a free marketing tool for the most part until we get to this phase. So that is my advice to you, is to make sure that you're using organic social to its full potential before you start paying for it, right? So this is the basics of Facebook. So the first thing you're going to need for paid ads is a graphic or video that you're going to use as your ad. So a couple tips around this. I like using Canva to make our graphics for our ads. There's a ton of templates on there that you can grab if you're not a graphic designer. You can also outsource this. Like I recommend outsourcing the video editing. But the idea is you want to capture attention. You want to be consistent with your branding. That way, if you're doing multiple ads, they're starting to grow that ethos of that looks similar enough that I can tell it's the same person, and it's growing that trust. People need to see something usually 8 to 16 times to take action, especially online. And so if you're consistent in your branding, they're going to actually equate that they've seen that multiple times, versus if you're not consistent with your branding, they're seeing you basically for the first time every time, and you're never building that 8 to 16 touches. You want to use minimal text. You want to definitely get your opinion across, but just use as little text as possible. You want to make the text as big as you can while still being in balance. And then GIF ads are actually doing really great right now. So like, little memes, jokes, kind of things like that kind of catch people off guard when they're scrolling, can also work really great as your graphic ad. Video ads also work amazing. My favorite apps, if you do want to edit yourself, would be CapCut, and then Story, easy button, have them do the editing for you. And then you have your video ad to, like, if you don't want to make a graphic, the video ad is probably easier if you utilize Story, and then just you have your video ad that you can go with. Okay, your caption. You want to make sure that your offer is really clear. What is the call to action? What is the value that they're going to get? Make sure that that part of the offer is very clear in the graphic or video, and then in the caption itself, we want to make that very clear. If it's an open house, if it's geared towards first-time homebuyers, if it's geared towards, hey, are you needing an extra bedroom for your family? Like, what is the offer? Make sure it's very clear in the caption. We want to use emotion. Like I said before, we make decisions based on emotion. So storytelling, testimonies of other people's experiences, That is going to help people create that with them, what's in it for them, and create that emotion. The goal in captions always is to get them to read the next line. So you have to be thinking about that when you're writing a caption. Is this line, I can't do my first line as just like a throwaway line, or even my second line as a throwaway line. We need to make sure that we're like, the goal of each line is to get them to read the next line, which is going to get to our call to action, right? Try to keep it to a few paragraphs at most, and make sure you're using spacing in between. I like to use spacing like every, I would do like 1 or 2 sentences, maybe 3, and then you need a space. That way people's, like, always in like design and marketing and everything, you want to think about balance and where the eye is drawn. And if I just have a massive pile of text in my caption, the eye is like, where do I go? Where if you're every like 2 sentences or so doing a hard return, it's helping the guide the eye down, and it helps people actually be able to read faster and like hold their, attention, because our attention spans these days, not very great. You always want to use hooks. So you can Google social media hooks. I'm going to send Jonas and Rebecca my 2024 social media hooks PDF to send to you guys with the recording of this. But some ideas, and I have some more hooks on the next page, is to ask a question, 5 things you didn't know about this, 3 things every home buyer does wrong. I will say this. I am a generally very positive, optimistic person. However, if you tell people online that they're doing something wrong, they will usually look to make sure they're not doing it. So it's a really good hook, actually. Okay, more hooks. How I went from this to this. Don't start your day without ... I already said this, like 3 things you can do right now to blah, blah, blah. Unpopular opinion. This one does really well. Captures people's opinion because they're like, oh, what is that? What's your unpopular opinion? I want to see if I have that opinion. Here's how I know ... is possible for you. Here's how I know home ownership is possible for you, even if you're in debt, whatever, like whatever your thing is here, these are the hooks to get people to actually pay attention and to read the next line, right? You'll never believe this, why I don't do this. Yeah, I'll send you guys my whole sheet after this that actually has some even better ones than this on there. Okay, so when we're doing Facebook ads, we want to use Facebook Ads Manager. You can use, there's like a Facebook business suite in the back end of your Facebook business profile. Do not use that. It does not give you all the targeting options, and it doesn't push your stuff out to as many people. So I like Facebook Ads Manager. You're going to Google Facebook Ads Manager, and then you're going to bookmark that. And this is what it looks like, where you'll press go to Ads Manager. Once you press that, it's going to look something like this. Should look pretty much exactly like this, except you probably won't have a picture of Todd, you'll have a picture of yourself. And then the next thing you need to do is you're going to click this green create button. So I have that highlighted here. You're going to press the create. It's going to give you the option of the campaign objectives. You're going to pick either traffic or leads. You're going to use traffic for link clicks, landing page views, and calls. You're going to use leads for instant forms, messenger messages, and calls. And then when we're talking about Facebook ads, we have to target our ideal client, right? So you want to be thinking about who is the ideal client. We got to have that clear. What are those people's interests and behaviors, and where do they live? And this is where that targeting comes into place. So you can do within a 15-mile radius of wherever you're going for. I have this set up in Sacramento because that's where our headquarters is. And then when you're in the housing category, which you guys will all pretty much be in, you're not going to get to select gender or age. Those are like kind of locked in for you. But there's a ton of detailed targeting that you can do to get your ideal client out of those locked things. So, first-time home buyer, home improvement, Zillow, it's another one, Mortgage calculator is one of my favorite ones, whether you're a loan officer or real estate agent, because it shows that they've taken action and they've looked at a mortgage calculator on Google. Facebook knows way too much about all of us and they know what we're searching. And so that is how they target us, is based on what we're searching on our phones and on Google and in Facebook itself. This is how you use paid ads as a funnel, because once again, in marketing, we always want to be thinking about what is the funnel in this. So for ads, it's our ad, our video, join this webinar, whatever the ad is about, that's the awareness piece. Our call to action is the interest. So click here for a 15-minute free appointment. Click here and I'll send you this free PDF. I love lead magnets because then you get their contact information to send them the PDF. Join this free webinar, click here. Then they make the decision, they register for your event, they book an appointment, whatever. You have their information because they have taken action on your call to action. And then the action is them actually showing up. So they showed up to the meeting, they, joined the online event, their program starts, they got sent the PDF, they did a loan application, whatever the action is, then they do that. Really quick, got to just do some compliance for our loan officers. And I will say, for you real estate agents, you probably have some compliance from your brokerage that you want to make sure that you're following when we're doing social or paid social. We want to, anytime we're talking about loans, we need to include our legal information, make sure that you're in compliance with that. If you live in any of these states, there's some extra stuff, super fun. You want to make sure that the Summit Funding logo is on all of your graphics if you are a Summit Funding loan officer. And because we're not all lending our own money, right? It's Todd's money. And then anytime we talk about loans, we need to use the correct legal disclaimer, which you can find in section 6 through 8 of the Marketing Compliance Guide. And I just have to say all of that to make sure that we cover our booties. So now it's Q&A. So does anybody have any questions? I see we have some in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing so we can just chat back and forth.
Guys, feel free if you have any questions, take yourself off of mute. Please ask Kaylee. It looks like we have her for about 15 more minutes. So please absolutely use this time. Stick it in the chat or just take yourself off mute. She'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yes. And Grace, what were you talking about with the bubble? Let me know what you were talking about there, and I can maybe answer that question. What are my thoughts on YouTube? I think YouTube is fantastic. It's just a lot of time and energy and effort that you have to put in it to actually have success. So, like we have some loan officers here that have had some really great success with YouTube, but they put a lot of energy and effort towards that. That's not where I would start with your social media strategy. But let's say that you were doing phase 2 and you're like, okay, I don't really want to go to paid ads yet, but I want to do something else. I would add YouTube at that point and start doing that long form video. I would get a video editor. Yeah, that is my opinion on YouTube. The document with the hooks will be sent out. I believe we send the recording out to everybody after this, don't we, Jonas? Yes, we do. And so I'm going to get that document to Jonas and he will send that with the recording. Link in bio means the link to something within your personal bio. Yeah, so link in bio is like I showed on your profile. There is a link on your profile right under your bio on Instagram. It's the same on TikTok once you get the ability to have links on there, and it's similar on your Facebook profile. And so you would just say link in bio and they would go to that. What platform do you use the most? Do you use to post the same content, multiple social media platforms? Okay. What he's asking there is what platform do I use to post the same content on multiple platforms? I like Later the best, or the actual just Facebook scheduler gives you the option to schedule for Facebook and Instagram. Those are the two that I would use. Is there a perfect video link? Great question. So no, there's not. it depends because the trends go back and forth, right? So on Instagram, shorter form content, like 15 seconds to 30 seconds, is performing best. TikTok is trying to get long form content to perform best. They're pushing videos that are over a minute long now, more on TikTok, because they're trying to compete with television. It was either 2 years ago, I believe it was 2 years ago, that social media broke the barrier of more people spend more hours on social media watching social media than they do television. So that's another reason to be utilizing social media, is because it's more popular than television now. What are my thoughts on using Summit color scheme brand to match your post? I would say that in branding, the win is to be consistent. And as a loan officer or real estate agent, if your company is providing the brand for you, that's less
Haley,
work.
no, I was asking, what are you using like to get the color scheme specific to like your actual colors?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yes. Okay. So two things. On my phone, when I'm doing stories, let me just show you really quick. Let's see. Let's say that I was going to share Melissa Fry's recent reel on our Summit social story. So I'm going to press add to story. And then so if I press the sticker button up here, so I'm pressing the one that looks like a sticker, this comes, here, let me lower this comes up right where you get to see all these options. I will click photo, and then I actually have a saved photo of all of our Summit colors right there. And so I will then use the eyedropper tool. Hard for me to like do this and show you at the same time. I will use the eyedropper tool, grab whatever Summit color I'm wanting to use. So I'm gonna do the navy, hold that down, and then I just delete. Let's see, done. Delete this. And now I have the Summit navy in the back of my story. So that's one way that I use the colors there. And then I have in Canva, I have all of our colors saved as a brand. So I have like all of our main colors, and I can just grab those and put them on any graphics. Is how I use. Does that answer your question, Joe? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you. I just need to work on getting those put together.
I can send you that picture if you want. I can text it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. I missed some. When I put a video in, does it go to the right place automatically, or do I need to direct where it goes? So when you are creating a reel, you want to go to your home page, right, and press that little plus button up here. And then you want to do a reel, and then you'll do your reel, and that will make it all go to the right place. Like if you put a video in and you post it, it's going to go to the right place. You don't have to worry about it. Advice on hashtags. It always seemed to be like I said, the owner of Instagram recently got on a reel and said that hashtags don't matter anymore, and that they're not using them to show people things, and that basically what's happening is we used to have hashtags because the platforms, Instagram and Facebook, couldn't read your captions. Now they can read your captions. So we don't need the hashtags anymore. They'll just read your captions. How did I save all the colors like that? I made a little Canva thingy and saved it as a picture on my phone. In regards to personal branding, wouldn't it make the most sense to post content and videos with our personal brand versus company colors, etc.? So if you are a loan officer, you are legally required to use the colors of the company that you are lending money from. So if you, I think there might be some differences in the real estate world because you're kind of with this brokerage, but you can kind of more have your own personal branding, in which case I would say you just need to be consistent, right? So whatever you pick, be consistent with it. But if you are a lender, we are not lending our own personal money, right? So we have to be in alignment with the brand of the company that we work for so that it's clear that they are the ones lending the money, just per legal compliance. So I have done my absolute best to make our branding, number one, flexible for you guys, where you have like 5 or 6 color options that you can pick from to like live under that umbrella. And then also I feel that we have done a great job of making our colors in the 21st century so that we all look modern and fresh and not like we're stuck in 2005. So that is my opinion on that. I would say it's very important to use the same color scheme over and over again, because like I said, people need to see something 8 to 16 times to take action on it. And if you're using different colors every single time, you're never getting that 8 to 16 times. You're just getting, oh, that's my first look at that every single time. So it's helping you build that ethos and trust for them to actually take action with you. Yeah, and then Melissa just put the owner of Instagram's handle in there if you guys want to follow him. He is decently good at sharing updates and kind of the algorithms of Instagram. Any other questions? We got 5 more minutes.
Guys, any other questions, please put in the chat screen, or we have Kaylee. Kaylee, thank you so much. So the big question is for anybody that's just point blank starting, give 2 tactics. What would the 2 things you would run out and do for anybody who has never done it before?
I would get the stuff to record video. I would start recording video and I would start posting it even if it wasn't edited.
Okay.
Because video is king.
Couple more questions coming in there in the bottom, Kaylee.
Is there a benefit to video editing directly on Instagram? No, there is not. They used to favor their own fonts. They don't anymore. So there's no benefit. The only thing that Instagram and Facebook care about, and I want to put this in your head so that you really think about it, all they care about is keeping people on their platform longer so they can feed them more ads. That's all they care about. So what they are prioritizing is content that they believe is going to keep that specific user on the app longer. So they don't care about like where the video is edited or any of that. It's, does this person tend to like this content and will it keep them on our app so that we can feed them more ads and make more money? That is their whole goal. One thing I didn't really talk about that I'll call out really fast here is trending sounds on Instagram and TikTok. And the way you find trending sounds is to go to your explore page, which is that like little, what is that called? The magnifying glass down here that takes you to your explore page. And then if you go to a reel on your explore page, a lot of the times those reels have trending sounds. So this one does not have a trending sound. See how, oh, sorry. See how it just looks like a music note? That is not a trending sound. This one that has the arrow, oops, sorry, the arrow is a trending sound. So that is how you find trending sounds on Instagram. And then TikTok just tells you if they're trending or not. TikTok's just a lot easier in general. So yeah, I love keeping matters current. That's a great call out, Sean.
So Kaylee, we would like to thank you very much. Now, you said you'd have something you'd send to me and Rebecca we can get out.
Yep, I'll send that right after I get this call.
Guys, we will make sure that your loan officers get the email so they can get out to you. If you want to make a note, this mastermind is monthly. We've been having it monthly for the last couple of years. Our next one will be September 17th, which is a Tuesday afternoon. All of your loan officers will have the information to get the invite, and we will have our speaker information soon. Kaylee, it has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. We really, really do appreciate it.
Of course. So happy to be here with you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Guys, we want to respect your time. It is going on 1 o'clock. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next month.